Before this video starts, I'd just like to preface this by saying that Ghost was my first ever Call of Duty game. Heck, I'm pretty sure it was my first FPS game that wasn't crunker. I enjoyed it because I haven't played any others yet, and I still haven't, and I'm pretty sure that more long-term fans of the series have a lot of reason to disagree with my opinion. I cannot wait to play more of this series and compare the games in the future because of my incredible first experience with Ghosts. Treat this video as more of a first impression and documentation of my experience with a Call of Duty game as a first time player. Finally, of course, be sure to tell me your opinion on the game and why you agree or more likely disagree. And I hope to be able to either convince you to check out the game or to replay it with a fresh take on it in hopes that you enjoy it better and enjoy the video. My friend gave me Ghosts among other games to play, and having never played or seen anything on Call of Duty before but hearing very highly of it, I was eager to give it a try, and I was absolutely blown away. It was one of the best campaigns I'd ever played with such awesome mechanics, which I'm sure the FPS community are familiar with, but to me were brand new. The campaign is about 7 to 8 hours long, so I won't be talking about the story very in depth, because I'm too lazy to, so please instead pause the video and accept this screenshot of what the Wikipedia page says about it. Spoilers, by the way. So why did I enjoy the campaign so much? First of all, if you're thinking of buying this game, it's pretty much exclusively for the campaign due to the fact that the multiplayer servers are deader than, spoilers, the main character's dad. And the Extinction game mode is, well, we'll get to that later. I loved the campaign so much because the levels are well designed with awesome action set pieces throughout every level and really cool first person cutscenes and slow motion scenes. It feels like you're playing through the eyes of the main character in a blockbuster action movie. And the variety in each level never leaves you in a moment of boredom. One moment you're in a classic on-foot mission where you need to rescue an ally. One moment you're underwater to sink a huge submarine. Another time you're flying a helicopter or using enemy uniforms to infiltrate a secret base or even in space. Or my favourite level due to the concept, you're ziplining to a building to then rappel down the side, taking out enemies through the windows to then acquire intel from an enemy. And the level ending by the entire skyscraper collapsing, with you falling out and having to activate your parachute to fly away. The levels are always different and providing you with new mechanics, keeping you excited to find out where or what you'll be doing next. At certain moments I squealed with excitement because of all the cool things throughout the entire campaign. The first time this happened was in the first level. I was floating around in a space station that gets raided by enemies, and at one point you need to float over to him to grab his gun, where you struggle and eventually point it at him, pulling the trigger. That was my first of many times that small things like that blew my mind. The levels also will provide you with cool gadgets to use, keeping up constant variety and never leaving you bored. In the campaign you can use gas masks, night vision goggles, remote snipers, thermal goggles, grappling hooks, dogs, and more. The story, while I've seen better, was quite interesting with a decent amount of emotion and some pretty cool characters. Some of the dialogue was a bit cringy, especially in interrogation scenes. However, the main villain Rourke felt very evil, a merciless being, fueled by past trauma and the betrayal of one of his greatest allies. And this is enhanced through the Rourke files, which are the form of collectibles in this game, and I quickly became determined to replay the levels to find and listen to them all. These files show some background to the story and characters, especially Rourke. The first one especially showed that he has received mental damage due to his history as a ghost and constantly being on the battlefield. And finally, the difficulty. I did my first playthrough on regular and found it to be pretty well balanced, and I did my second on veteran and died. A lot. I completed the campaign on veteran, but for some reason the trophy glitched and I didn't end up getting it, which means I'll have to replay the entire campaign for a third time, which is rather annoying. Finally, the shooting feels great in this game with a great amount of recoil and control and a pretty solid variety of different weapons. The Call of Duty Ghost campaign was fun, exhilarating and action-packed throughout, never leaving me with a moment of boredom or the want to stop playing. I felt like I was living the story, like I was Logan Walker, and I desperately want a sequel, especially after the insane cliffhanger at the end. I would have been okay with the ending if they just removed that minute-long post-credit scene, so I was really sad to find that no sequel was planned. If this game's on sale for about 10 quid or less, this game is worth it absolutely for the campaign alone. But what else is there to do in Ghosts? Call of Duty Ghosts' multiplayer is probably its weakest aspect, without even considering the fact that it's almost impossible to find any games, and when you do it's full of max ranked players who have probably been playing non-stop since its launch in 2013 and have to look up on the internet to know what colour the sky is. However, this makes sense due to the fact that the series is a little oversaturated with about one new game every year. I don't know much about other Call of Duty games, but I know that they did kill streaks very poorly in this one. I found them to be very basic, and the actual power-ups that you earn to be pretty all-around useless. One is a radar that's meant to locate enemies, but in my experience does absolutely nothing. And another is a dog that is extremely easy to kill and doesn't really help you out a lot. The weapon variety is pretty nice in my opinion, where you are able to use points that you earn from leveling up to purchase more customization, whether it's a new weapon, grenade, or even a hat or jacket, because you can create your own soldier, which is a cool feature until you remember that it's a first-person shooter, rendering the feature pretty useless because there is no way anywhere in the game except on the customization screen to actually see the soldier that you created. I appreciate the maps, they all vary in different shapes and sizes with very different scenery, and I much enjoyed playing on them all, except that medieval one. They all had cool buildings, they're all very different from each other, and they're all very fun to play on, and it forces you to be tactical by needing to aim your gun around every corner. There's a lot of game modes to play, with classics like Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Search and Destroy, but also some different ones that I enjoyed equally as much, like Hunted or Search and Rescue. And then there were some less good ones, such as Cranked or Blitz. I was only able to find games for Team Deathmatch due to only about 200 players being online at a time. However, you can play every mode and map against AI, which are a perfect level of challenge in my opinion. Not stupidly easy, but sometimes also able to absolutely thrash you. So I usually ended up playing that instead of the actual multiplayer. Finally, Squads mode and Extinction mode. I was going to go ham on these modes, especially for the fact that they had replaced the classic Zombies mode that I'd heard so much about and was so excited to play for myself. However, upon being able to join a multiplayer game, I actually found them rather fun. Though difficult, they're pretty fun game modes that I would choose over simply playing the standard multiplayer. And about half the game's trophies are in the Extinction mode, so I'll be playing that a lot in the next few days. In Squads, you can choose several modes, the most prominent being Safeguard, your usual wave-by-wave game mode where you must kill all the enemies and survive to progress. It's nothing special and you can find this in a lot of different shooter games. However, there are also a few others like Wargame and more. Extinction is very fun, but only when played with other people. It's a unique game mode where you start in a city infested with aliens and you're given a drill and have to destroy all the alien flesh hive looking stuff and defend it from the attacking aliens. Once you reach certain areas, a helicopter is called in, which you must defend while it shoots down a huge alien wall looking thing. At the end, you need to launch a nuke to land on your location, and after that run all the way back to the beginning of the level before the nuke lands, while aliens are spawning everywhere in front of you, and you're constantly under attack, leading to some very exciting moments where you try to rush to the chopper to get out in time. You earn money by killing enemies, which you can then spend on ammo boxes, armor or explosives, or turrets, IMSs and more. There are also weapons scattered around the map that you can purchase for fairly cheap. My only complaint in this mode would be the lack of maps. Yes, I know that some come with the DLC campaigns, but seriously, only one free map for an entire mode? It gets very boring very quickly playing the same one over and over again. It is far too easy to earn money and I would find myself constantly reaching the cap and searching for things to buy simply for the sake of spending money and not because I needed to. Also, the limited ammo isn't very threatening because for only $1,250 you can get about 100 bullets or more depending on whether you've upgraded it yet. There are also various random items scattered around that you can find by searching bins or other small places. You earn a lot of money from each alien and the maximum capacity is only about $6,000. The upgrade system is probably Extinction's strongest point. You earn skill points from defending each drill site, and there are also challenges for each one that are pretty simple to get most of the time, where you earn an extra skill point upon completing said challenge. You can use this to upgrade your class ability, yes there are classes, or to upgrade your weapons and buyable items only for that round. They'll reset in the next one. There are also teeth that are kind of rare to find that you seemingly earn at random, I'm not quite sure how yet, which you can then spend on permanent upgrades, such as faster revives, more damage per bullet and more. I did not enjoy Extinction the first few times I played it, but in the past few days it's really grown on me and now is my favourite part of the game aside from the campaign. While fans may find it significantly worse than other games in the series, I wouldn't complain about a game like this. Finding it fun, released in a good state, and with an extremely exciting, thrilling and fun campaign and game modes. And they tried something new with Extinction, which may be worse than Zombies, but they tried something different and it still ended up being great. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and press the subscribe button, otherwise I'll get this game to haunt you. You get it, 'cause ghosts.